Geico asks, how would you love a chance to save some money on insurance? Of course you would. And when it comes to great rates on insurance, Geico can help. Like with insurance for your car, truck, motorcycle, boat, and RV. Even help with homeowners or renters coverage. Plus, add an easy-to-use mobile app, available 24-hour roadside assistance, and more, and Geico is an easy choice. Switch today and see all the ways you could save. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com or contact your local agent today.
Take the next step toward the career you want, be it business, cybersecurity, healthcare, or more. UMGC can help you get there. No application fee when you apply by August 31st. Visit umgc.edu, certified to operate by Chev.
The debauchery rolls on. You're listening to The Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
It's deep, though.
It is.
It's a deep stuff.
We heard it right.
Yeah, we did. Coming up, the exciting return of Ted versus the FCC. In the meantime, our question, what did you get in trouble for, and what was the punishment? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Mike. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola.
Hola.
So, 1968, I was about 11 years old, and they had these little Lindy pins that had lots of different colors, and they always kept them right by the cash register. So me and my little klepto buddies tried to collect all the colors, and I finally got busted stealing them, and it was about 3 doors down, and the manager of the store knew my dad, so he told me to go home and have my dad call him.
That's the worst.
Did you do that?
And he's gone.
Oh, man.
You'll never know, Miles.
But he got his ass beat. 1968.
1968, you were stealing.
Every decade got a little bit easier on the beatings, but that's 10 years before my beatings, so, I mean, that's a beating.
That's the thing. I realize how old I am now, and I'm like, we used to get beat. I get the feeling my great-grandparents would have been like, I used to have 3 brothers, 2 of them were shot. Mm-hmm. It's just like, right, it lessens every generation.
You had an uncle.
Yeah, I was to say, you had 2 other uncles.
What did you get in trouble for? What was the punishment? 206-421-ROCK.
And, of course, there was the other brother that we kept in the cage.
He was just bad, is what we had to do. Hello, Spencer. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola.
Hola.
So my dad was building this shed. He was like in the process of building this. He was on top of it slinging shingles, and my sister lights it on fire.
On purpose?
For whatever reason. Yeah. Well, I mean, it was accidental, but she was intentionally lighting fire.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
Right. So she starts screaming. He's on top of it. He jumps off of it. They get the fire put out. It didn't destroy the shed, but it burned like the outer plywood and whatnot. And my dad is furious. So he goes up to her and he leans down eye to eye and he's like, "What's your favorite toy?" She says, "Barbie." He's like, "Go get it." So she goes inside. She gets it. She comes back out. And my dad's lighting the garbage burn barrel, and he's like, "Throw her in the fire." So she throws her Barbies in the fire, and she's bawling the entire time.
Was it just one Barbie doll, or did she have a bunch of them?
No, it was like 5 of them.
I was going to say, I'd take the house, the penthouse, the boat, the Corvette, whatever you got. I'd burn it all.
I think that was the point, like, just burn the Barbies, but you get to keep all the accessories as a reminder, you know?
Jesus.
Right, and everything else is pointless without Barbie.
I know.
Right.
Was that your father's usual way of dealing with things?
Oh, yeah. He had lots of weird things. My sister was always getting in trouble. He had lots of weird ways of punishing her.
That's actually how we recycled and did most of our trash, though, was a burn barrel.
Yeah, big burn barrel.
And that was
I grew up in Animal. That's how we did it. You just
I just
burn barrel.
Every Christmas, like, gather up all the paper.
All the paper.
And then, Grandma would go, like, save the bows.
What is it?
Save the bows? Save the bows is something that's a tradition at Christmas.
And I just don't know what it is.
It's like save the whales.
Dudes don't care. I feel like every mother, at least, at Christmas, instead of save the whales, like it says, should have a T-shirt that says save the bows. Because my mother would get so frustrated. And again, we're kids. We're excited to open gifts, right? But she'd have her, and my mom, man, I mean, like her bows were like crazy, big, loopy. Oh, she's all about this. And man, if you threw that bow away, where was the bow that was on that gift? Like, man, it's in the trash with the rest of the.
And that spreads.
The bows are not trash.
That also spreads to the nice boxes. Like if you got a really nice shirt or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Save that box. That's a Macy's box. Your aunt got you that.
Do you guys remember waiting in did you ever shop at Hex?
Yeah.
And then I remember around Christmas time, Like if it was, I don't know who was getting the special gift, but I'd sit there and wait in line, and you could pay for them to wrap it.
Oh yeah,
which seemed like the ultimate luxury to me as a child. Because I still hate wrapping gifts.
I cannot
I'll
wrap
it, but it's
anything.
awful.
Well, my mother would always say, I know who this gift is from. She could tell who wrapped it. Because mine was always like, if it was a flat box, it was still at an angle.
Right.
And she's like, do you even try? I'm like, I do try. I suck at it.
I used to use the comics.
My brother did that for a while.
The comics section.
For like the Sunday paper.
Sunday comics were colored.
Oh, comics.
Yeah.
So you could use the black and white was Monday through Friday, but on the Sunday they have a whole section.
the colors.
of
Oh,
yeah.
So we take that, and that was what we used to wrap our stuff in.
My mother finally, she would get pissed at my brother because he was now an adult. He had graduated college. He's living wherever he's living. And like, it would be Christmas and he would bring a gift from my mom and it would say, happy birthday on a wrapping paper. And then on her birthday, he'd bring a gift and it says, Merry Christmas, or as a snowman. And she's like, Adrian, for F's sake, like, honestly, man, you're an adult now. Just do it. So she bought him like all the wrapping paper he needed. And she's like, please use it accordingly.
Right.
If you want to drive my mom crazy, put the wrong holiday on the wrap of anything.
We always had a ton of wrapping paper because, like, I went to Catholic school. So you had to, like, slang chocolate bars in the fall.
Oh, right.
And then Christmas paper in, like, November.
Oh, that's right. You had to sell Christmas paper.
We used to have to wrap our books the first day of school with shopping brown bags.
Yeah, from the grocery store.
Yeah, I learned how to do that pretty well, but I couldn't wrap a Christmas present.
The trick to that, and I forgot this every year, I would go to wrap my books, and it was kind of, your rite of passage for every new grade, and I'd always wrap it and have the cover open. What is the problem?
Well, when you
go to close it, it doesn't close.
Right, exactly.
And I'd have to do it again. And I F this up every time. I hated wrapping my books.
What did you get in trouble for, and what was the punishment? 206-421-ROCK.
Do kids still have to do that?
I don't even know if they have books.
I have not seen my kids with books. I mean, if I go to their school, like they're either on an iPad or in front of a computer, like I don't know that they physically even have books at the school other than their library, but like no textbooks.
Huh.
Man, I remember I thought I was so smart. 5th grade, we had whatever homework. And I've stated before, I don't do homework, right? I'm not at school. I'm not doing your work. Which oddly enough, now I get on my kids about, hey, this is your responsibility, blah, blah, blah. But whatever the case, I didn't do the homework. And now the teacher, he's going through the class and he wants to see your work. So I opened my book and I said, man, I meant to do, it was like page 78 of our math book. And I remember this and I'm like, I couldn't do it. That page is missing. Like someone who had the book before, because remember you passed it down.
Yeah.
The page isn't there. He was like, Stephen. I'm like, yes. He's like, these are new textbooks from this year. And I remember I just hung my head and pulled the ripped page out of my bag. I thought I was so slick. Because I'm like, it's the perfect excuse, right? I can't do it. The page wasn't there. I just remember the look on his face. It's like, these are new textbooks from this year. So all I did basically was ruin the textbook that my parents had to pay for. It's a great moment.
Oh, you had to pull it out of the bag.
I just felt so bad, so low, and I just reached in my bag and pulled out the torn page. And he just had that sheer look of disappointment in his face.
What did you get in trouble for, and what was the punishment? 206-421-ROCK.
Sorry, that is just sad and pathetic.
Thanks, Dad.
Well, kids, I mean, I meant to say this earlier. When you're a kid, you get in trouble, you just do dumb things.
You do dumb things. But I thought I nailed it, but it did not occur to me, like, right, these are new to this year, so the only book that's been defaced is the one you owned. Yeah, I'm like... Hello, Brandon. Welcome to the men's room.
What's up, guys?
Hola!
All right, so some years ago, I was a volunteer firefighter.
Okay.
And during my fire academy, we were instructed to go home, pick out a rock, and paint it red. And that was our rock partner, right? So in the fire service, you never go anywhere without your partner. So we would be running all over the place, had to carry this rock around with us, blah, blah, blah. Well, one day we were running down towards, it was by the Puget Sound.
Okay.
So we ran down towards the water. We all had to get in a line right by the water. And our instructor says, if you think your rock partner is too small, throw him into the sound. So a lot of us looked at each other and, oh, well, yeah, mine's kind of small. So, we all start throwing our rocks in the water. And then after everyone throws their rocks in the water, he looks at us and says, well, you never go anywhere with your partner, do you? So you better go get him. So the whole class had to jump into the Puget Sound. Mind you, it's late October. So it's 45 degrees out.
It's as warm as it's going to be all year.
Right. And the sound is cold accordingly. And so, yeah, we our punishment for throwing our partner into the water was we had to go in there and get them. And some people like chucked them out there, so they're diving down into the water, and yeah, it was interesting.
What I know technology is a little bit different now, but what was did you guys have a siren? Did you have pagers? Did you have how did you get the notice?
If you were on shift, you were at the station. If you were at home, a lot of guys would take a little. It's kind of like a pager, but it's a radio.
Okay.
You can't be like, oh, I'm going to be there, but you can hear the call, and if you're close, then you can respond to it.
In where I grew up, they had this huge siren, right? So they would send the siren off, and then everybody would go to the fire station, and then they would get their stuff. And they would put their stuff on. Then they would jump in the truck, and then they would go to the home. And by the time they got there, it was completely burned up.
Right, just the process.
Because the process of everybody getting together and then getting on the truck. Of course, if you were a little bit late, you could follow, but you didn't have your stuff. Some people had some stuff in the back, but most of the stuff was always at the fire station. So I never. There was never a structure saved.
Right, nothing was ever saved.
You were just there to just make sure that the fire...
To literally put out a fire, but not save a structure.
Everybody was gone. There was no reason to go into the building. The building was gone. It was just...
Right.
Brandon?
8 times out of 10, you're just trying to protect everything around it, or you're digging through it, making sure it's out.
Exactly.
You're telling us about the buddy system, and Ted and I, years ago, we're drinking at this bar, a bunch of firefighters are there, and they were explaining that to us. Like, hey, man... every fire, you have your buddy, you have the partner. Keep an eye on each other. Make sure you're safe. Makes sense. So 2 of the guys that are partners with each other, they're there telling the story. And the story the guy tells, he says, look, we go to this one house fire, and it's a bad house fire, but we're not sure if there's anyone in the house or not. And he said, it's one of these fires, you go in, it looks like a movie. Everything is orange. The heat is extreme. They had to go up to the 2nd floor. They get to the 2nd floor. It's all smoky. Flames are there. And it's at the point where the floor is starting to fall away in different places. It's like, and I turn around, and my partner's gone. And now we know he survived because the guy's at the bar. But he's like, I turn around. I cannot find my partner. And again, it is just walls of flame. And he's like, and I am screaming for him, and there is no response. And he's like, man, you start getting sick to your stomach. You go into a panic. Some of your training goes out the window because you realize this is like my best friend. And I think he may have fallen through the floor. I think he may have died. I don't know what's going on. But it's like, and I look at the end of the hall, and there's a closed door, and the flames are eating away at this wall. They're starting to eat away at the door. Then the door pops open, and it's my partner, and he apologizes. He had diarrhea and actually went to the bathroom in the burning house and took a dump. And he said, man, like, in the bathroom, the floor is falling away from him. And we're looking at this guy like, are you serious? He's like, dude, seriously, like, my gut was bad, man. And he's like, I just didn't want to poop in my own pants, so I found the bathroom in the burning house. And he's like, I just took a dump. And he's like, the ceiling's falling down around me, and he's just slumped over on the toilet.
Yeah.
Like, ooh.
Gotta get it out. Yeah. It's hot. What did you get in trouble for, and what was the punishment? 206-421-ROCK.
Everything came out hot.
Hello, Mike. Welcome to the men's room.
Fabulous Friday, folks.
Hola.
Hey, Ted, have you tried the new Philly cheesesteak Lay's?
Oh, you know what? I have.
Yeah.
I had a couple of them. They're pretty good.
Did you recognize on the front of that bag they're made with Geno's steaks?
I saw it was Geno's. Mm-hmm.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, it's
it totally made me think of you guys.
I know. I wonder what Pat's has.
Gino!
Geno's! So anyway, when I was like 10, 11 years old, I was in my living room listening to the headphones, listening to music like I always did, and my mom and my brother were watching TV. Well, my mom kept telling me to be quiet. Well, I'm listening to the headphones, so I'm not really thinking, and she tells me one more time to be quiet, and I say, shut up, bitch.
Oh.
And my brother's eyes get really big, and then I realize, oh, no. And, shortly after that, I got my butt whipped with some Hot Wheels tracks.
Oh, yeah.
That couldn't have hurt that bad.
I don't know. It's in place of a belt, man. You get a good sling of those.
She doubled them up. She doubled them up, and when you got a whooping, they left welts.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
I remember those things.
I mean, they were basically long plastic strips.
Right, but you double them up. You get good velocity.
Okay, all right.
And hit that tender ass of his. Yeah, you're going down.
What'd you get in trouble for, and what was the punishment? 206-421-ROCK.
I feel like all day I've just been hearing that belt snap in the back of my head.
Man, look, if you got hit with the belt, you remember getting hit with the belt.
Where was the place? Where did you have to go? I do bend over on the stairwell. So bottom of the stairwell, then I had to bend over and put my elbows on the step.
Oh, wow.
And then just take it from the back.
I just had to turn around and wherever the belt landed. And
that was weird.
Thing was, if it hit the thigh, they tried to hit your ass with it, and you can take it because your ass is padded. Every once in a while, maybe his arm was getting tired. It would slip down and hit the back of your thigh, man, and that hurt much worse.
Yeah, my dad didn't really care.
And then
wherever was closest or just across the knee, but the belt came. I will say one day, I said something to him, right? And I'm probably about that age,
that you're going to say something to him?
Well, no, but younger, 6 or something, because I was little, right? Physically little.
Okay.
So he starts, walking me down, not a long hallway, but towards the bathroom, right? And now I'm backpedaling, right? But I got so scared that I went to sit on the toilet, but the seat was up. So I sat in the toilet, in the walk. And I remember being oh, my God, my butt's in the toilet.
The older you got on that,
did he just leave you alone at that point?
He's dying laughing. Because I don't think he was really mad, but he just saw me getting scared.
The older you got, though, the more you tried to act like it didn't hurt.
Of course.
So you could just stand up and turn around and just look him in the eye and go all right, buddy.
But I realized
you didn't hurt me, and then you'd wimp away oh, God.
The reason I tried to do that once, my dad's I'll keep going until it does. Mm-hmm. And then I realized, look, act like it hurts on the first one. Well, you don't really have to act like it hurts because it hurts. Right. But yeah, I tried to do the tough thing. You can't get me. It's I got time.
Yeah.
It was okay, it hurts.
It's I was going to say, when Miles was talking about punishment from coaches, that was always my favorite line when I coached. You guys are going to run till I'm tired.
What'd you get in trouble for, and what was the punishment? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Jaden. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
All right, so this takes place about 10 years ago. I was a couple months out of high school, right? And, when you're young, you do awesome things. So it was Halloween time, so me and a couple buddies hopped in my truck, and we decided we're going to go steal pumpkins. So we're driving around, we're taking pumpkins, having a good time.
Where are you taking the pumpkins from? Are you taking them from people's front porches?
Front porches, yeah. We were dumb. We were yeah, why not? So we took them, we're going down this road, and my buddy says, I'm going to nail that Chrysler 300. I said, no, you're not. And I was driving. So I swerved the other way. I look at the mirror, pumpkin's midair. I was oh, no. So next thing I see, the pumpkin's on the ground. Apparently the dude was in the car. So he turned his car on and started chasing me down. And I'm in this little Ford Ranger. I can't go fast at all. And I'm trying to outrun him and weave in and out, and I can't do it. So my buddy was let me out. I'm running. I was whatever, jump. He jumps out. So he ended up stealing a bike off somebody's porch. So they saw my truck. They hop in the car and start chasing the guy who's chasing me. So we end up losing that guy. Finally, I pull over. I'm I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry I gave up fake names because I was kind of smart at the time. So he was get back to my car now, or my house now. We're going to look at this damage. And I was absolutely, sir. So get back to his house. And we look it over. He was I don't see anything wrong. I was oh, thank God. He's you must have missed. And I was yeah, he must have. He's come back tomorrow and wash my car. I was done. So I'm getting ready to leave, and the car that was chasing me for the bike, he pulls up. He was hey, where'd the guy go that stole my kid's bike? I was what are you talking about? So I had to cry to him, I'm so sorry. I'll figure it out. So the next day, I called my buddy. I was hey, where's that bike? Oh, I threw it in the reservoir. Dude, what? So I had to hop a fence, buy a reservoir, and city water, find it, pull it out, bring it back to the person's house, and then go back to the guy's house that the pumpkin incident, and I had to wash it spotless. And I was literally so scared to wash this guy's car because he was standing over me. I was pretty small, I was 5'8". This dude had to be 6'10".
Have you ever seen a small person drive a Chrysler 300? Every time I see somebody in a 300, they are a large person.
I think of one guy that rented one for a while.
Yeah.
Large dude.
Yeah, that's a fact, man. I've never seen some little tiny guy driving a 300.
If you're going to throw a pumpkin at a car, I'd suggest a Prius. If you're going to make an estimation about who's in it.
I was doing the responsible thing, and I was driving the car. I wasn't pumpkin chucking, so.
I know. Hey, by the way, real quick, we got this from a listener. If you are near Pacific Lutheran University at approximately 119th in Yakima, this guy just lost his black German Shepherd named King. So if you see a black German Shepherd in that general area, just know the owner's looking for it.
What did you get in trouble for, and what was the punishment? 206-421-ROCK.
Geico asks, how would you love a chance to save some money on insurance? Of course you would. And when it comes to great rates on insurance, Geico can help. Like with insurance for your car, truck, motorcycle, boat, and RV. Even help with homeowners or renters coverage. Plus, add an easy-to-use mobile app, available 24-hour roadside assistance, and more, and Geico is an easy choice. Switch today and see all the ways you could save. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com or contact your local agent today.
Take the next step toward the career you want, be it business, cybersecurity, healthcare, or more. UMGC can help you get there. No application fee when you apply by August 31st. Visit umgc.edu, certified to operate by Chev.
Your home equity. It could be an untapped opportunity instead of an untouchable asset. Introducing HomeTap. HomeTap is an investor, not a lender. They give you cash in exchange for a share of your home's future value. Use it to pay off debt, make renovations, fund a business, or just live a better life. There's no interest or monthly payments to worry about. HomeTap. Get more from home ownership. Get more from life. Subject to eligibility. Terms and conditions apply. Visit HomeTap.com to apply in minutes. That's HomeTap.com.
You're in the men's room. 99.9 KISW and KISW HD1 Seattle.
What did you get in trouble for? And what was the punishment? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Katie. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, bichola.
Hola.
So back in the late 90s, I was in middle school, and I got bullied a lot, and my friend and I decided to write down our feelings and basically just make a list of all the people that, we didn't like or picked on us. And somehow the principal came across the list and called us into the office. We both ended up expelled that year. They took it as a violent thing when it was not. There was nothing on there saying that we were going to do anything at all. And it was her birthday, too, so extra worse. But we got home, and, of course, my mom was super pissed, thought that I just did this horrid thing. I tried explaining it to her. No, it's not like that at all. I just got picked on. Like, that's all it is. About a week later, so she grounds me, and I'm not allowed anything, radio, TV, go outside, anything. About a week later, she gets a copy of the letter in the mail, finds out what really happened, saw what went down, and I ended up with the rest of the school year free to do whatever I wanted.
Did you graduate that? Did you have to go back and go to that grade again, or were you able to get the hell out of there?
No, they basically just kicked me out the last month of 7th grade, and so they just called it a year. And honestly, it was a good thing for me because I didn't really like the people I was going to school with anyway.
Sounds like they were jackasses.
I just got an extra 3 months of summer and got ungrounded.
Why did they interpret it as a hit list? I mean, what did you write about your feelings that they assume that you planned on using violence?
Honestly, the only thing I could come up with is that it was just a list of names. So, I mean, late 90s, maybe after the whole Columbine thing, they took it a little more seriously than they should have. But, I mean, I tried explaining it to them that, I got bullied a lot. I tried talking to them about it, like, are you guys going to do anything for me? And they were like, yeah, no, we're just going to kick you out. And then one of the consequences to that was they wouldn't allow me to go to their high school. And I didn't really care because I got picked on anyway.
What do you think you got picked on for?
To be honest, I don't know. I mean, I'm just an average white girl with glasses.
Oh, glasses. There you go.
It's glasses for us. Yeah,
yeah, that's probably. But yeah, that's absolutely a reason to get picked on by everybody,
Yeah.
So did you go to a different high school, I'm guessing?
Yeah. They had to transfer me out of the district, and I ended up having to go to a different high school, which, worked out in my favor because I actually made a bunch more friends at the other high school and got to graduate early, and everything worked out. You know
what, though? It turns out, not that you would go see these people because you didn't go to that high school in the reunion, but if you do look up any of these people now, you'll realize that you won.
Generally, yeah.
I mean, typically, as far as the people that I knew that were bullies in school, either they ended up in jail.
Because they're idiots. I mean, like,
exactly,
you are who you are, you know.
Yeah, but it doesn't end well in the adult life.
Typically, it does. I would say when we were on in Rochester, remember those days?
Yeah.
We used to be on there, yeah. So, but I lived there, and one of my old friends reached out, and keep in mind, I hadn't seen this dude since 8th grade. You guys saw the email, the initial one.
Yeah.
And so he's like, hey, man, is this the same dude? So, yeah. And so I'm asking about all these different kids that we went to high school with junior high school with. And the ones that I thought probably would not do well for themselves did not do well for themselves. One dude shot dead, and I won't bother to say his name, but I'm like, that sounds about right because I want to kill that dude every day. Another dude's been in and out of jail, now living with his parents, not because of anything that's going on right now. He's just that dude.
Right.
And one other guy, I guess he's actually doing all right for himself. It wasn't that he was a bully. He was just a really tough dude. And I guess he's still a very tough dude, but doing okay. Not doing great, but doing it. But I'm like, yeah, that sounds about right. And then all the other people that he brought up, I'm like, they're fine. Everyone's just normal, doing their thing.
Yep. What did you get in trouble for, and what was the punishment? 206-421-ROCK.
I think it's weird, too, how it works on the other side of the law as well.
What do you mean?
Like, there's a couple guys I knew growing up, and I'm just like, that guy's a cop?
Yeah, it's
like,
weird.
It's gotta, like, you know what I mean? It's just weird. I'm just like, I remember him doing this or that or blah, blah, blah.
But I feel like the people that become cops or firemen, you go like, okay, our resident arsonist is now a fireman because I realize I can either go to jail because of my obsession or I can try to do something good. You decide to be a fireman. And a lot of the guys I know that became cops, and you're right, when you first hear it, you're like, David Bell is a cop, and they're like, yes, David Bell, and you can't wrap your head around. No, and then at some point you go, it kind of makes sense.
I've got two friends that are cops.
It's just weird when you haven't seen somebody in 20 years. And then it's like, you know, they're obviously in a place of authority, and it's for me though, it's still like that guy,
right?
AKA Tank.
I don't even know how to respond. You know, like if I got pulled over and I'm picturing this one guy, David Bell, rolled up to my car, I'd be like, whoa. Yeah. I was speeding, all that stuff. Man, you can't write me a ticket. Right. I know you.
I've got two friends that are state troopers, and I cannot believe that they were even allowed to even just put on a uniform. Right. I know what they were up to.
Exactly.
I know them as individuals. Like that was a guy that got me so coked up I missed my flight home.
And he's a state trooper.
He's a state trooper. Now he's the sheriff or some crap. I'm just like, you introduced me to the worst aspects of my life at that point in time. Like, how in the hell are you telling people what's right and wrong? Like, you were the devil.
I will leave out the state, but I have a friend. We were in Vegas, and where our rooms are next to each other, and we just hear this banging on his door. And we're like, what is that? So this is obviously before he became a cop. But he had ordered a prostitute and got scared. So she's up there banging on the door like, you owe me $80 just to leave.
Oh, damn.
The same thing. He's state trooper.
And now he's state trooper.
Oh, and he's super serious. I mean, he should be. But
Sure.
he's like super serious about it. Like, I don't do this or that anymore. I'm like, come on, man.
Yeah, last time I saw you did a hooker.
Tiger doesn't change their stripes. Man. I'm sorry.
You had to pay hookers to leave.
What?
You didn't have sex with him.
Right? It's worse.
You paid money to a hooker to get her to go away.
Oh, we were so scared too, man. She was loud. We just thought we were going to get arrested in Vegas because she's just like, you guys owe me.
How are you in on that?
Right.
Oh, I was just in my room next door scared.
Oh.
What'd you get in trouble for, and what was the punishment? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Greg. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola. So, when I was younger, I found my mom's candy stash and ate pretty much all of it. So, she chased me around the house with a broom, hitting me with the broom. And she got me one real good one right in the face. So I turned around and I got real mad. And I took the broom from her and I broke it over my knee. And I said, hit me with it again, B-word. And at that moment, I knew that I had messed up. Because she got a smile on her face and she says, wait till your dad gets home. And so that freaked me out. So I went out. We lived in a rural place. So I went out to the barn and I saddled up the horse. I was going to ride off into the sunset.
Oh, yeah.
Just to avoid dad.
I'm a man now. I have to be a man now, you know?
How many times did you run away?
I never ran away. I came close by riding the horse. But
Okay.
he came home and I had a speech prepared and I was going to, I'm leaving and everything. And he walked up to the fence
I'm on the horse. He says, get off that horse. And I said, yes, sir.
Yeah.
Get off the horse. You better go take that horse back to the barn. You better brush it. You come see me. I'm like, oh, okay. Yes, sir. And I did, and I got my butt whipped so hard. Oh, man.
We didn't really run away. But well, I mean, I took off a couple times, but we were already.
I didn't really run away. Well, except eight times I did.
We were Boy Scouts, so like we would go. One time I ran away, one time my other buddy ran away, but we knew where our camping spot was.
Yeah.
So we would just go, and we had all.
You know who doesn't run away?
Who's that?
Eagle Scouts.
Oh yeah.
You ever run away, Mike?
Nope. Yeah. You had a stable home life. But man, we would take, we had like Peak 1 stoves. We could make fires.
Sure.
I mean, hell, we'd just go for 2 or 3 days and then just kind of wander back. And one time when I did it, I was like, I'll show them, and I wander back in the house. They didn't say a word.
Nothing?
Nothing.
How mad were
How
you?
long were you gone?
3 days. 2 nights, 3 days. I figured, like, I'll show you. And I walk back in the house. They're like, what's up?
Oh, damn. Que pasa, amigo?
You came back?
Did you have a backpack?
Yeah. Jansport.
Oh. I like to envision you walking down the road with just like the stick.
No.
That's West Virginia.
I was equipped, man. I had a
hobo.
pad, I had a good sleeping bag, man.
I've already determined if my kids pull the move, right, they're going to run away because of whatever. My first order of business is change their room. Like, move the bed up, hey, and it's when they come back, like, dude, it's a guest room. I mean, like, that's, I don't think you were coming back home.
That's called 18.
Right? Oh, God.
That's the weird thing.
I moved out of my house. I came back 24 hours later to grab the rest of my stuff. Mm-hmm. I go into my room. My room is already different. I'm like, guys, like, my mattress wasn't even cool for my body heat. My mom's like, but you don't live here now.
When my older daughter went to school, but my younger daughter was still in high school. When she graduated, right before she left for college, I took her into her bedroom, and I said, get your stuff the F out of here. I mean, seriously, I went to these doors, like, what do you need? Get it out of here.
Yeah.
Well, Dad, what if I want to spend the night here? This is where you're going to stay. Yeah. Just bring your own clothes.
So bring a duffel bag.
Yeah, we've got a toothbrush in here. You're good to go. But other than that,
you want to spend a night, you need a dresser to spend the night.
Right, exactly. Like, sorry.
I mean, like, sorry, dude.
This is not your room anymore.
You need an entire closet to spend the night.
You're out. What did you get in trouble for, and what was the punishment? 206-421-ROCK.
We've moved on.
We have.
I remember when I announced to my parents I'm moving out. And there was no big fight or anything. It's just that time. And I'm moving out. And my mom's like, are you sure? Because, you don't make S for money. Washing dishes at Chi-Chi's. I'm like, I get it. But look, I got a square deal. I'll be okay. And I remember telling my father, he looked at me and he goes, yeah, all right. Just remember something. When you move out, you ain't moving back in. So he's like, make sure you get your S together because you're not moving back into this house. And I never did. But I did go there pretty much every 2 weeks to do laundry.
Sure.
That was the
or get some food. I'd always just go back.
I did not go to get... No. Let me rephrase this. I clearly went home to get food, but I never said, I'm here to get food. I said, I am here. Can I please use the washer and dryer? And they would say, sure. But mothers being mothers, seeing their baby boy, you want something to eat? You know what I'm thinking about, Mom, but sure. Could you hook up a lasagna? All right.
I used to go back and steal groceries. From the time that I was 18 years old to about 21.
You stole the groceries?
Oh, yeah.
You didn't eat with them. You went into the house and stole the food.
I knew when they worked, and I would go, and I would take their food.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean, why not?
Yeah, when I first moved out, I mean, you guys met my mom.
Yeah.
So that was my thing. I'd go back on Sundays, but specifically in the fall, I would go back every Sunday because she would do the laundry and start cooking, and I would just watch football.
I lived in one of those houses where you had a pantry, but there was also like this stockpile of food. So, like, this was when wholesale places kind of first started
so
doing their
cans
thing.
of this, that, and the other.
Like, there's a big gallon jar
like
of green...
Price Club days.
Yeah, like green beans that you would, feed like an elementary school with. So I'd just go back to the apartment like, green beans!
I'd be so mad at you. Like, wait a minute.
They never noticed.
No, I'm not saying as a parent. I'm saying as a roommate. Look, you stole food and grabbed green beans?
I stole...
Brother, do they have bacon?
I stole olive oil. I stole spices.
Ooh.
I stole...
Sounds like you're still just cooking the beans.
Yeah,
I know.
Exactly. I need stuff for, to make the food.
I would be so disgusted with
They didn't care. The stockpile people, the hoarders of the world, like, oh, well, I'll use this someday.
But you stole beans.
I stole anything I could get my hands on that I thought it would look like that they wouldn't notice that something was gone. Because I knew how long that food had been in there. You know what I mean? So there's like 2 or 3 brownie mixes, like the Girardi, whatever. They were like the expensive brownies from San Francisco.
How many would you steal out of 3?
I'd steal 1.
Okay.
Ghirardelli?
Yeah, Ghirardelli.
What did you call it? Girardi?
Girardi. Yeah, Gerardo.
It is fancy.
Oh, yeah.
Gerardo. It's fancy. I can't even say it properly.
I love you, but I need you. What did you get in trouble for, and what was the punishment? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Melody. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
This is about how I punished my son. We live in an apartment complex in North Seattle, and he got into plenty of mischief and was grounded quite a bit. For instance, one time the stairway at the end of the building had these amber windows that opened up like bird wings outside.
Okay.
He dropped a bowling ball all the way through to see if it would break all the windows, and it did. Another time he had silly string and managed to fill up the apartment manager's car with silly string.
Oh, man.
So, but this time the fire alarm went off, and there was no fire, but we all had to evacuate. So everybody in the building that was there was sitting out in the parking lot waiting for the fire department to respond because they have to inspect the building. So while we're sitting there, I told him, I said, when you pull the alarm, they put out this invisible ink, and the fire department is going to come by, and they're going to check all of our hands to see if someone pulled that fire alarm. And the whole time my son is sitting there and he's squirming around. If you can imagine this, he's putting his hands in front of him, he's looking at his hands, and then he's putting them behind his back and wiggling around, and he's saying, well, how are you sure? How can they tell? How can they tell? And this went on for about 5 minutes, and that was the best. Watching him squirm, I couldn't have grounded him enough to make him squirm like that. He was so worried.
How old is your kid? How old is your kid now?
Now he's 36.
And what does he do?
Right.
What does this bowling ball dropping, silly string spraying, fire alarm pulling dude do now?
He's a carpenter, and he lives up in Alaska.
Okay. All right. Well, he's doing okay then.
He's doing great. He's awesome. He's just a very, very curious kid, he was. And it was really hard for me not to laugh at him all the times that he got into mischief.
Well, that's what I mean. If my kid dropped a bowling ball through the door, like, I'm going to be pissed, but also knowing the innocence, I just want to see if it would go through. Like, oh my God, like, how stupid are you? But you can't really say that, you know?
You just can't help but laugh. As a parent, there are sometimes I had to go in the other room and just laugh out loud and come back with a straight face like, you really did that?
That's why I send the kid to the room so that they think they're in trouble and I can laugh my ass off in the living room.
My roommate was he was a big bowler guy, and he got in a big heated fight with my other roommate. My roommate was just absolutely fuming at him, and it was about the fact that this guy had mentioned something to my other roommate's girlfriend about the fact that maybe there were other girls that were coming over. All right. So it was one of those things. I mean, it just set him off. He was so pissed. But Joe had all these bowling balls. I mean, he had a ton of bowling balls.
Wasn't he like the state champ or something like that?
He was a state champion bowler. He had 300 rings, or I think you're only allowed one ring, then you get a watch and you get something else, right? He had all that stuff.
They spare no expense.
But Hammer, he was sponsored by this company called Hammer. Before that, as a junior, he was sponsored by AMF, which was pretty. So he got all his bowling balls for free. He had a drill press in his room for
his own fingers.
For his fingers and all that stuff. But his last 300 game that he won in competition, he had this bowling ball up on a mantle. Now, my other roommate got really pissed off. He's like, I got an idea. But he took it to the next level. He's like, we're going to drive this damn thing across that bridge. There's the river in town. And we're going to stop, and I'm going to throw that damn thing off of the river. So, and he goes, then I'm going to scream just to mess with people. So Jeff gets out of the car. He takes his bowling ball, and he throws it, all right? And he goes, ah! And then, boom! I mean, this huge splash. Funny stuff, right? About 2 hours later, we walk downtown to the bar, and there are police boats circling.
Looking for the person that's...
Oh, yeah. They're all down there. There's one, there's like a fisherman boat, like some citizens had gone out there to see if anything. The police boat was out there, and I'm like, Jeff, that was not a good idea, man. I was like, because I know you're just trying to piss Rozak off by getting rid of the ball, but you just got the cops involved in this now, man.
I mean, but there's no way they're going to trace this back to you guys, right?
No, it's just we felt horrible. We did not. He was just like, I'm getting rid of this thing. I'm throwing it in the damn river. You know what I mean? The hell with him. But
you had nothing to do with it.
I was in the car with him, but I didn't think he was going to scream. I just thought he was going to throw the bowling ball.
You know, all of your stories that you don't have anything to do with, you are an awful close proximity to all these things that you have nothing to do with. So I didn't throw the. If I'm a cop, I'm just saying.
Hey, listen.
I got 8 calls today. I'm a police officer, and now I understand. Perhaps, Mr. Montgomery, you were not directly involved in this, but why have you been physically present at all? I know you didn't rob the bank. Why were you at the bank that got robbed? I know you didn't start the fire, but why are you standing next to the gas can that lit the fire?
And I'm not saying anything bad. I'm just picturing you in the car. Just got to be like, this could be funny. You should throw it.
The other next bowling ball was rolled down a major hill.
Yeah.
In a street. Like you had golf balls at people's houses. He rolled a bowling ball down the road.
We would throw the golf balls.
Yeah, he rolled a bowling ball.
Did it hit anything?
8-pounder. You just heard dunk, dunk, dunk. Then it went through the trees.
Okay, all right.
That's all we know. That's all we know.
That's all we know.
That's all we know. But we know the other bowling ball was not good. But it's still cool to watch that thing bounce down the street. It was an old road. It was like a service road kind of thing. Like, there was no houses on the side or anything like that.
I wish people could see the look on Mike's face.
What?
It seems like he's just grilling you. It smiles like it was fine, Mike. It was a service street.
Exactly.
Mike looks like the quiet cop during the interrogation. One guy's asked the question. You just have this look on your face like, really, son? Do you expect us to believe this? Yep. I'm not saying anything. Just my face is letting you know.
He also, by the way, had 50 other bowling balls.
Sure.
It wasn't like, you know what I mean? We took his dry ball, we took his wet ball. And those are the ones he was using at the time. I didn't take them. He did.
Is the wet ball the one you threw in the river?
The wet lane and dry lane ball. So you have depending on the conditions of the lane, you use 2 different balls. One's got a little bit more rough side to it. The other one's a slick ball. The slick ball looks like a marble.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
There's a design in it, but the other one is a flat ball. So it looks,
looks
like a matte
The
finish.
balls that look like marbles, you're saying those are for the...
Those are for semi-dry lanes.
Why would they not tell you that? I go to a bowling alley, those are the 2 options, right? Yeah. There's always the matte ones, there's the marble ones, but to me... One just has a cooler
design. The matte
one
means they probably have waxed the lanes. So you could use those and a little bit more slick, and you get a little bit more grip. But you don't get as much grip. So if it's dry, you use the ball's slick instead of the lane.
The things you learn.
Yeah, exactly.
That's crazy.
I mean, I'm 51. I had no freaking idea.
You are listening to the Men's Room.
Geico asks, how would you love a chance to save some money on insurance? Of course you would. And when it comes to great rates on insurance, Geico can help. Like with insurance for your car, truck, motorcycle, boat, and RV. Even help with homeowners or renters coverage. Plus, add an easy-to-use mobile app, available 24-hour roadside assistance, and more, and Geico is an easy choice. Switch today and see all the ways you could save. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com or contact your local agent today.
Take the next step toward the career you want, be it business, cybersecurity, healthcare, or more. UMGC can help you get there. No application fee when you apply by August 31st. Visit umgc.edu, certified to operate by Chev.